Ray, if you don't know Mr. Ray Bellande, raise your hand. Everybody here knows Mr. Ray Bellande. So
that's
do I need
me.
to introduce Mr. Bellande, or can I go ahead and give him the reins? I think we could. Mr. Bellande is going to talk a little bit about the history of the library.
Well, thank y'all for coming. A subject that I'm not an expert on by a long shot, and I had a lot of help putting this together. The library folks, Bruce Moeller, too many probably. Okay, we start out with what was called the mineral lot or the health lot or something. Anyway, this is where the tourist industry started in Ocean Springs, and we call it Marble Springs Park today. Back in the 1850s is when the word got out that we had springs that had mineral properties that would for efficacy and restoring health. 1850s, a long time ago, but we had steamboat service here. So there was a doctor in New Orleans, Dr. Austin. He built a hotel called the Ocean Springs Hotel, which is where we got our name. If I'm saying too much that you already know, just say move on. But anyway, we were called Lynchburg Springs. I know you've heard that for 1 year, and there's actually I've seen a postmark with Lynchburg Springs. 1854 became Ocean Springs. Thank God. So for little things, right? Well, anyway, they would bring people that. I guess the doctor in New Orleans said, you need to go to Ocean Springs, get into baths. So they built this. It's still there. You go down there. But anyway, this is where it all started. So where are we going with this? This is okay. This let me go to another picture here because that always helps. This lady, I don't know if she was the first. She probably was the first or second president of what was called the Ocean Springs Women's Club. Now, sometimes you see it Women's Club, but I don't know which is correct English-wise. But anyway, they started mostly I would say the higher economic strata of society in Ocean Springs, the people that had money, and most of them were not natives for sure. They were people that had come in and settled. So this is about 1924, 2025, somewhere in there. So a guy named W.B. Schmidt, who was a German immigrant, settled in New Orleans, made a ton of money in the wholesale grocery business. Have anybody been to Metairie Cemetery? Go. Oh my God. It's a revelation. Y'all have all eaten Popeye's fried chicken, I'm sure. Well, you got to go see Copeland's obelisk. It cost like $3 or $4 million. And one of his, I guess, sister-in-law just died a couple of days ago. Anyway, there's a part of the cemetery is called Millionaires Row. Today it'd be Billionaires Row. And a lot of the people, there's probably 8 or 9. They're really like little cities. The whole family's buried there. A couple of people that had property in Ocean Springs, and W.B. Schmidt is buried there, of course. Well, anyway, he owned the property in 1896, gave it to the city of Ocean Springs to be only used as, for curing people or helping people get better from the water. Okay, so here comes the American Legion and the American Legion Auxiliary and the Women's Club got together and got a lease from the city to use the property. Okay, so what they did, they had first it was a pavilion, then they put a roof and sides, and it became the community center. They had dances, and a big thing that you don't hear about anymore was the maypole dancing in the spring. I think that comes from maybe the paganism, and it's kind of disappeared. But I've got pictures actually in front of the Mary C. when it was a high school, and the girls, they were like big ribbons, right? And they danced around on it. So, okay. I need some music. Okay. All right, sorry. Okay, so this is where the library started. Let's get the building out here. Oh, what an idiot. Hey, I need to, yeah, or something.
Oh, up on the ceiling.
Y'all are blocking the, oh, okay. I was going to give a, oh, I didn't want to do that one. Oh, went wild here. Go back. If y'all oh, thank you. I'm not an engineer. I want to go to there. Okay. This is a 1890s, 1880s school room in Ocean Springs, but I want you to notice how the children or whatever are dressed. The teacher has ties on, and everybody's like neat and clean. And I see what might be two teachers in here, but it's rather formal, which again reflects money, I think. Oh, okay. This was called the Big White School, and anybody know where it was physically? EC, right here. This is where this school was. And built in 1900, and by 1924, 25, they saw that we need a new school, so they built one out of town. You know where that was? The Mary C. People said, it's too far out of town. Don't build a school way over there, right? Seriously. So what do we do in what, what was it, 98 or 99? We built one really out of town. Yeah. Okay. So this building was torn down, and the lumber from it was used to build a colored school, black school, over on School Street. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is an interest. This was the Lynch Academy. Okay, this was an Irish guy. Some of our earliest settlers here were Irish. Like the O'Keefes and. But we had quite a few. Ames, going on. Okay. This is on the northwest corner of Porter and Jackson. Actually, it's across the street from the funeral home. Lynch had a grocery store. I guess he lived here, but it was a private school. Some of you might remember, if you're old enough, the two Schmidt brothers, Frank and Harry, were educated here, and then they went on to Spring Hill College and then did a medical school. Anybody remember Dr. Frank? Okay.
Dr. Harry was my doctor.
Yeah, I've been to him. Yep. Anyway, that was private. Okay, now we're at this is the today picture. Well, not today, about 94. That's the building. And if you've been here, but it was demolished in 96. So after 96, you've never seen the building. And that's where that was the community center. There was a small library, and I'm thinking, just imagining that it was nothing but a couple of bookshelves. But this is the first library. This is what it looked like shortly before it was torn down. The JCs had taken it over, and the people, went through a bunch of litigation over drinking, noise, and a guy named Joe Garrard, God bless him, he finally got it torn down. And that big tree behind, that was a red oak, and it's gone too. Okay. In fact, is Audemars here?
Yeah.
Well, you live next door. Obviously, you know that. But I just wanted to remind you. Okay. I know you're excited about the election. You might have forgotten. Okay. It demolished by neglect. Okay, so the roof caved in. And, okay, so they moved. The library moves. Okay, this you would recognize. It's on the corner of my street and Government. Okay, and it's the Masonic built 1928. So we know, and these dates are, the Women's Club left a lot of information, but they were never very descriptive about, okay, the library is here now. So there's a lot of mystery, and there's some newspaper stuff, but we know they went from there to here. when they left, we're not sure. They went here, this was actually a fire station. This is a great story. 1916, the big fire. Okay, it started where Moeller's, the bar. Knuckleheads, okay. There was a store building. Started there. It was in October, November. North wind blew it down Washington. It burned down the firehouse, which I know. Ocean Springs Fire Company #1. And it burned down one hotel. We had, let's see. The Shanahan house did not. The roof caught on fire. They saved it. There was a Vale house across the street. It burned down. So it was a pretty bad fire. Enough to probably the worst one we've ever had. Okay. They moved from it was the National Guard Army when they were there, and now they're senior citizens. This building's on the corner of Bowen and Washington, and the Clark guy was there with antiques, and as you can tell, that building has been raised significantly by Fred Moran and fixed it up because it's an old building. The foundation was terrible, and anyway. They were here a short time, and then the big move to the City Hall. Okay. This is May 1953. Can y'all see that well enough to write? There's two people in there. Somebody should know. Connie's not here, is she? Okay. That's Connie's. Oops, why did I do that? Oh, boy. That is Connie's grandfather. That's Alfred Peter Moran, Sr. And to the guy standing by the door, that's John Duncan Moran, who's Connie's father. Okay. And this is the dedication of City Hall, May 1953. So the library moves in there, and a young lady out of clear blue sky said, I remember it was a room up in front. So they had their own room in the library. City Hall, sorry.
It's where the mayor's office was.
That makes sense. Yeah,
was.
That is up
My
front.
mother was the librarian at the time. That's the reason why I remember it.
What's her first name? I know she's both.
Dorothy.
Huh?
Dorothy, but everybody
Dot.
called her Dot.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she got paid too. Okay.
I don't know.
Didn't you get an allowance?
No.
No? Okay. Maybe she didn't get paid. Okay. Who knows? Okay, so the library stays here for the next 20 odd years. And in 1973, they break ground to build this building, which is we're in now. So this is, I don't know, I took this in about 90, before the addition anyway. So, okay, then this is the addition in 94, 95. In the building we are in now, totally. I think they about doubled the size of it. Buzzy Bolton was the architect, and most people from Biloxi in here would remember him. And the rest of these are just like construction pictures. Y'all remember when that went on? Oh, important thing. Okay, so the library had to move. Anybody remember where they moved? Okay. The Ben O'Keefe funeral home, ex-funeral home. Okay, the building's still there. You know where the Y is? Well, just east of it is a small. Yeah. Okay. That's where and they couldn't move all the books, but there's enough to where it was functioning. And of course, they had the bookmobile and all that. Something happened in '52. I'm trying to remember what it was. Okay. Oh, God, I am such a dummy. Oh, that's nice. What did I do?
I think that's the last one.
Oh, really? You mean I have to shut up? Come on. All right, she said that's, okay, we got to Ben O'Keefe, and they moved back here after the enlargement. And the library stayed pretty quiet. I think there was some Katrina damage. It wasn't severe. They put a new roof on. That was later, maybe. Anyway, I know at one time in 22, they did temporarily move to the Mary C. And that's about all I know about it. It ain't much, but it was a peripatetic library. In other words, it had many homes. Let's see, I'm trying to think when the Jackson County took them over, I want to say 62. In other words, the women's club was taken out, and I think the big building on Pascagoula Street was built in 61, which sounds kind of late for a county to have a real library building and whatever. Say two. Say if you need. Oh. No questions? Good.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. We really appreciate it. Now,
You're welcome.
guys, keep